Hello, and welcome back one and all to the Brexit Estate. This should be week 8. Week 8 it is. I believe my microphone volume was a little bit too loud in the previous episode. I haven't adjusted it yet. I'll listen back to this one afterwards and then see if it needs some adjustment. But in the meantime, I believe it's time to head out on another mission. Why did I have these four selected? Oh, it's pushed towards the Necromancer, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. They are all level 1. And is there anything to do in town while we... Yes, there is. The Kurgan is suffering from a spasm of the entrails, so his is all inside. Not comfy. Deck-based stagecoach is turned off. We don't have anything too interesting here. The workshop version of the Paladin is much better than this is the old Nexus version. They're different, very different. Let's hope something interesting turns up at the end of this week, but for now, yeah, short excursion into the ruins. Test yourself in the mad realm of your fallen ancestor. Take note of how the creatures have taken over, but don't delve too far. And we'll be reclaiming Eldritch Killing Incense for the Occultist, which Hakim does not have yet, so that'll be very interesting. Now let's check trinkets. So we don't need to wear a debuff resist. Okay, it's not disease resist. That's just good for him to have all round for now. Very tempting, but she's already... Where's that from? Oh, slow reflex, isn't it? And yeah. You get to have that as well, Fennel. You may have some horrific, horrible disease that gives you some rather unusual dietary requirements, but for now, we're just gonna be careful. Wait a minute, is that? Yeah. Let us get a little bit silly. There we go. I suppose the real silliness would then be to change this accusation for Holy Lance as well. That would be great fun. You know what? Yeah. That is very... Wait. Yeah, let's not train those 2 skills yet. We'll hopefully do that when we get back to town. Also, we want to get some more heirlooms. In fact, actually, let's just go back into town. 10 and 23. Can we upgrade the Abbey? No. Right, so the cheaper a treatment is, the more negative the side effects can be if it goes wrong. And I just knocked a paint pot over. Fortunately, the lid was on. Bear with me while I just go pick it up. Give it a bit of a shake, put it back down. Where was it? On my mouse pad. It's fine. My mouse pad is heavily occupied. A mouse pad? Mouse pad? I don't use a flaming laptop. Right, so, yeah. So you want to maximise the cheaper ones first, because if you get a hero who will only go to them, these side effects are more negative, so maximising the benefits is good. And then the better they get, the less severe the downsides can be. So that's why I'm developing in this staggered method where I am. Now, here... Okay, let's just get an extra patient cell there.
Methodologies and apparatus can calm even the most tormented soul.
I'd like to get 2 on each row as soon as I can, but that's going to take a few weeks yet. Look, it's early days, we're getting established, we're working our way slowly through, preparing a party for the courtyard, but it won't be these 4 because we're trying to keep these alive, even if Fennel's probably going to cop it because Crimson Curse seems to be terminal, basically. It doesn't seem like it's going to go away anytime soon. It's a disease for life. Although I have found at least one little workaround that seems to be beneficial, but since that hasn't come up in this save yet, I'll mention it when it does. There's probably something else, like when you defeat the Crimson Curse top level boss, all the heroes in the party get the Crimson Curse removed from them or something. It's like, but I would have sent someone else if I'd known. I've no idea.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar. Now, foreign.
Okay, so going to this room will involve backtracking, but it's an empty room. It's a safe room, so we might as well go for it. As I mentioned, I'm going to be enjoying Bulwark of Faith. I should not have brought so many torches, and oh great. Well, she's going to be staying back in town then. I didn't bring the blood with me because I only had the 2 vials and I was saving it, and this is not good. Maybe we'll find some more. We probably won't.
If only treasure could staunch the flow of otherworldly corruption.
So the plan here is to optimize the... Okay, let's see. I can go this way or this way. Don't know what's in that room. I'll go this way. It means even longer for a fight, but hey look, here's a torch.
Finding the stuff is only the first test. Now it must be carried home.
Alright, you crazy blood-starved nutter, you can disarm that trap and feel a little bit better about yourself. Do you feel validated yet? Do you? No? Pity. Finally, conflict. Yeah, now it's going to be like a ghoul or something. I'll be like, oh dear, but even though it's a low-level quest. Like, ghouls on a low-level quest? No! Oh yeah, well, it could happen, maybe, in some crazy Crimson Court world. I mean, no, it's just for maggots. We ate maggots. Not 4, but 8. Okay, let's try for a double stun. Just to... fail completely. Okay, fine. Right. And now it's time to test a theory. Is this going to last for the whole battle?
A time to perform beyond one's limits.
It's a 1 per for a 1-4. Oh yes. Once per fight for 1 bonus for the fight. Yes. Well, multiple, but you know, it's a bumper boom.
The blood quickens.
Oh, and stunned as well. She is really taking a hammering. That's not a good sign. And that 80 is not great either. And you know what? They can't normally refuse healing when they're stunned, but now she's probably going to refuse it anyway just to spite me next round. In the meantime, let's just blast some of these apart.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
Oh great, she's recovered from a stun before the heal, so she can deny it! I think she won't deny it this round. I think she won't deny it this round, but next round she probably will. Wait, is she even afflicted yet? No, she's not, but no, it's an affliction. It's... Oh, come on!
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Well, I said that 80 was too low. Let's get 5 more torchlight. Ah!
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Let's just finish off these knaves, these varlets. Vagabonds, ragamuffins. There are so many excellent old words that just don't see enough use these days. Sometimes it's just nice to slip them into conversation. Just to bring them back for a little bit, you know.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
Poltroon. There's a word you don't hear very often outside of, like, Captain Haddock and Tintin. And we have an empty room. Nope, no, let's go back in. Come on, there's not enough treasure on this run. Oh, is this going to be awkward and refuse to let me in again because doors are broken? Come on. I just wish that would work easier. I know, oh, you can use the keyboard shortcuts. Well, I don't want to use the keyboard shortcuts, okay? That involves reaching all the way over there to where the keyboard is, you know. And it's like, you got everything else working with the mouse. Why not just let us go through the doors a little bit easier? Just wait till someone makes a custom hero that's like a giant that towers up and it becomes impossible to open the doors tool backing up. It's going to happen at some point, probably. Didn't someone already start making, like, versions of this crossbone as a hero, and before the Obelisk came out? And I think there might have been an afflicted giant. They didn't have the walk animations and the idle animations, so they had issues. But was that one of Action Jack's packs? I can't remember. Anyway, let's get some bonuses.
Inspiration and improvement.
Oh look, he's just reactivated Warrior of Light for himself. And here comes the pain. Oh, yep, that was gonna hit. This one might miss, but it probably won't. Yep. Alright, let's just make sure we finish him off. That was probably unnecessary for the back one, but for the front one, kinda needed, I think. Just working on keeping that stress relatively low. Calm. Peaceful. Should have maybe gone with the judgment there. On the front skeleton. But this way we get to play for time. And maybe get a little bit more healing. That was probably it, to be honest. That was probably the little bit more healing we're going to get. Unless the priestess gets... Oh, no, okay. We'll do it this way. Right.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
Thing is...
Require only the strength to follow it.
You think that's fast? I think like that, but faster. Just skipping, cutting corners, getting ahead of myself. Sometimes I think so quickly I can't work out how I logically got from one thought to another, and yet it was a purely logical progression. I just cut out the middle work because it's like, yep, I know how this is going to end. But there we go. And oh, for goodness sake, I am having brilliant, just brilliant. I am knocking things over left, right, and centre at the moment. At least I know what it is. I know what fellow that I need to find. Oh, for goodness sake. This is really unfortunate because of... Okay, wonderful. Let's take the really complicated route to fixing this then. Sorry, the thing that has fallen right by the wheel of my chair, and I can't risk moving the chair, so I'm just going to take my headphones off for a moment, get out of the chair, and all sorts of things like that. Right. Sorry about that. Sometimes emergencies just happen. Turned out it wasn't right by the wheel, but with limited visibility and my legs in the way, it was too risky to move the chair base and risk crushing the thing, because it was too precious. It wasn't some kind of, something that would not be missed. Disposable tat, whatever. Right. I'm not having a very good night. That's been... Okay, that's improved slightly. Yeah, life's just being awkward at the moment. Again, apologies for the delay there, people. I just had something come up. Well, tumble down, rather. Okay, can't be much longer, can it? Oh, it can. It can be absolutely longer. 3 more rooms. Right. It's a short run. It's not too bad. Well, it could be bad. Okay. You'll pardon me just a moment, because... things getting knocked over, falling over. I'm just going to go and check this session is actually recording, okay? And it is. That's great. That's absolutely wonderful. Right. That would have been terrible if it wasn't. And why is it on the bloody map again? Right. Just because monsters like to kill Dismas because he's shit and dies because he's rubbish, and can't dodge anything to save his bloody life because everything hits anyway, because the accuracy values are always much higher than the dodge values, so that there's a chance of a hit and so on. Yeah. So that's interesting. By that reasoning, you could then say that dodge as an ability isn't even worth having. But it absolutely is, because it can mean the difference between life and death on many an occasion. Okay, that's gonna be done. Let's just start working our way through this heavily armoured skeleton with acid. Just slice. It's not going to bleed, but it's one of the few options available to him at that point.
Unforeseen.
Okay, there we go. Starting to bet it goes for him again. Oh no, okay, nice. And... Bulwark of Faith for the torchlight and the defense and everything! Yes. Oh, great. You just...
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
It really is just like an affliction all on its own. And the thing is, back in town, she may choose to drink the blood, or might not. They don't seem to drink it when they need it. They seem to decide if they want to or not. It's interesting. Anyway, I'm not sure that's happened on this save yet, so I should shut up about that. I won't shut up. You'll find out. So, back in town, heroes who are wasting away because they haven't had enough blood, it can get pretty bad for them if they don't get blood soon enough. And the only way you can force them to drink blood is in a dungeon, if you've got some blood with you. And I know these people are like, fleshy bags full of blood.
By evil intent.
But that's not the kind of blood she wants. It's a very special kind. The kind that comes in glass vials. I did say files, not vials there. 2 separate words, basically the same thing. I should be saving these torches for a little extra revenue at the end of the run, shouldn't I? Oh well. Now I get to see what this room is like, and... okay, awesome. Let's get in there. I don't like the mouse click delay where it forces me to wait. And I get to click 2 or 3 times before I actually get to do the thing that I want. Okay. You know what? You're religious, you should be able to cope with this. You're academic, but you are just depraved and deranged at the moment, so yeah, you can read this. It'll probably end badly. Oh, okay. That's nice. Oh, really? Bonus to range skills, eh? Might just up that to level 2. Just to be on the safe side. And we want Warrior of Lights. And 81 is a bit low. But not for long! Because fear not! Our bastion of goodness, our bulwark of faith will be there to shine the light of the gods down upon this scene and judge these infidels unworthy. And you're just going to get those bonuses right there. Bang! And whoomph. Okay, it's less of a whoomph and more of a fall. So, fall. Yeah.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
But fall is harder to pronounce, obviously. And I was like indicating it coming up rather than the favour coming down upon him and surrounding him, shielding him from harm.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Well shot there, that man. Apparently they can shoot just as well. Champion sharpshooter tournament 4 years in a row, that bugger was. He's dead now, of course. But there was a time when he was a force to be reckoned with. And we'll reckon with him soon enough. But for now, let's just make sure you make it through the next round, or give you an improved chance. I like where that suit of armour has got a slightly, the tapering down of the legs. It makes it look like a weird top-down perspective rather than a tapering thing. I mean, it's mostly the elbows sticking out the side. It's like, you know. Yeah. 15, 10... Ah, stuff it. Blight him down fast. Extra fast!
Give them no quarter.
Could have gone for a freer, but it didn't quite feel worth it. Right. Group hug. And then... Justice! Critterdin doesn't work. Oh, bone soldiers and rabble, you have been judged and found wanting. You are not worthy to lick our boots, let alone oppose us in battle.
Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
4 times. 4 times I clicked that sodding button just then, just to take the stuff and close the bloody window, before it actually, registered on the 4th time. That is seriously... And the thing is, it's been like this for ages, right? But the having to run the game in full screen borderless window mode just to be able to capture it exacerbates the problem. They fixed it, right? They fixed the problem so that it was a much smaller problem. It was only like 2 or 3 clicks, but you just have to click longer and harder and be more patient when recording for YouTube, apparently, because something went wrong with the game and that doesn't record the way it used to a few weeks ago. Just sounds.
The great ruins belong to us, and we will find whatever secrets they hold.
Let us hope that it was worth it when we examine the stagecoach. I really, really, really hope we get our Twilight Knight soon, because we've been missing her, right? This is on to week 8, and it would have been nice to see her by sometime around now-ish. Oh well. It's gotta be all of those custom heroes that I'm not using, that are hard installed, bloating the stagecoach generation, and of course the game constantly turning on deck-based stagecoach even when I have it turned off, to increase the chance of actually having an equal chance of all heroes. Right, so Thick-Blooded is extra blight resist, Plotter is extra bleed resist. Those are both quite good, especially if going to the Weald over Warrens. Let's see what's in town.
A fresh irritant to some. A sanguine memory to me.
Unsurprisingly, the mosquitoes are back. I have a feeling that's going to happen every sodding week until we go and defeat that bloody crocodile. And I'm sorry if you didn't see the episode of the crocodile, that was episode 3, feel free to go back and watch it. Visual quality was a little bit lower, but it's unfortunate. Right. We have 2 new locations. I'm looking at these now to delay the inevitable disappointment when I check the stagecoach and there's no Twilight Night. So we have the Nomad's Wagon.
Trinkets and charms gathered from all the forgotten corners of the earth.
Now this was originally going to be... It was one of the proposed designs for the Antiquarian, as opposed to the current version of the Antiquarian that we actually have. She was going to be more like a gypsy character, instead of this sort of Silk Roads traveller. I can't remember... The third option was some kind of posh woman with a blunderbuss who looked a little bit like the Musketeer. So basically, at the Nomad's Wagon, you can go and buy trinkets for exorbitant prices, and even upgrade it as well. I'm not going to do that just yet because I can't upgrade the stagecoach. Yeah. So basically, this is... The trinket network makes them cheaper. The wagon size increases the amount of trinkets that she can bring every week. Essentially, late game towards the end of a campaign, if you don't have some really special, amazing late game, end game trinket, and you see it in the wagon, you can grab it. But don't go buying trinkets like these early on, or you'll just be like, hey, that's 10,000 gold I spent, I've only got 1,445 to go on my next mission, and that's going to be horribly under-equipped. They'll be starving, no torchlight, no bandages, just nightmare. Over here we have the Survivalist.
At home in wild places, she is a stalwart survivor and a strict instructor.
This, you know, she looks like a rugged outdoors type, but this, just remember this for later on. This, she may be affiliated with the brigands. When they come and attack the town, she might be their spy. She might be the one who tells them when to come and attack the town and says, hey, they're not watching now. Come in and wreck the place. So I'm not sure I should trust her. However, she's fairly trustworthy. And she teaches camping skills. And she teaches better camping skills. And that is good. So, heroes can just learn more camping skills. If I had a little more money... Wait a minute. Whoa. What am I thinking? I need to be going in here. And oh no, that's the other campaign. Right, so let's take a look at the stagecoach and see what it has for us today. No Twilight Night. So we have an arbalist. She shoots things with a crossbow. She's very similar to the Musketeer. In fact, it is the same class, just slightly different. We have another bounty hunter. Deadly bounty hunter, okay. It's okay. We have the offering. Yeah, just really... And a jester. Do we have a jester already? We have a jester already. Okay, we cannot upgrade any of these without quite a few more deeds. So deeds are going to be highly sought in the next week, just to help work towards... If we can get 5 more deeds, that would be brilliant. However, in the meantime, it's possible to upgrade the Nomad Wagon, because you want to get started on these upgrades early so that when the time comes around that you need them, you're kind of like, you know, 2/3 to 3/4 of the way along them. We don't really have... Oh, okay, we can make skills cheaper to learn, and you know what? Learning skills is important, and we don't have a lot. But let's make camping skills even cheaper, because that would be really good. And let us make skills cheaper to learn.
Some may fall, but their knowledge lives on.
Right, we're back in town. Velia's going to finally learn Hand of Light, and Fennel will finally learn Disorienting Blast. I know there are a lot of people who are proponents of Emboldening Vapors and really like to use it. And at higher levels it probably is more worth using than Blinding Gas, because things just resist Blinding Gas too often. let us spend a hideous amount of money and start working our way along the camping skills. And because it did it that way, and it would have put it on the end of the line, we have to go put those back. And then Dismas will gain encourage, which means rearranging these. I could probably do this off camera if people liked, but I tend to do it at the time to make sure I know what I'm doing and just keep track of things. Evasive, as a dodge buff, the highwayman dies all the time. I think evasive might be getting locked in the future when I have a bit more money. Speaking of future money, let's have a look where we can go next week. We have the push for the Necromancer's Apprentice. This party is reserved for that, so they may very well do it next week, but probably not. So I'll try and raise a few more funds. We have a short with busts, a short with portraits, and a medium with busts. Let's go to the wheeled next, I think. Anyway, that's been enough for one episode. I'll say bye-bye for now and see you all next time, and hopefully start recording the next one very soon. Cheerio!